Hello and welcome to another episode of One Fall WrestleCast Live. Tom and I are here with you tonight. We have a couple things we'd like to discuss, including did AEW bite off more than they could chew with Andrade? Jacob Fatu has been written off of television. AEW had Wrestle Dream this past weekend. Our good friend Kevin is back in the high school gym. And murder on pay-per-view at 12:30 a.m. We got to talk about it. We'll catch you on the other side.
Welcome to the One Fall WrestleCast.
Oh, there, that's in focus.
Yeah, that's really in focus.
But I'm not.
Are you in the witness protection?
I might be. I think my after years of faithful service, I think the focus on my cam may have taken a shit today.
Crazy. Today
it decided it's like, nope, this is all you get. 4 years, you're dead now. It's okay. I needed I think I needed a new one anyway. It was I don't know. It's the lighting on it. I've never been a fan of it, even though it's got its own built-in ring light that I never use. Look, watch this. I'm still blurry.
Listen, if you'd have turned that ring light on and if that bitch would have focused up, I'd have died.
Right? No, maybe flicking. I figured maybe flicking it would. No. There's no saving me here. I think its internal focus died. I'm just gonna be blurry today, and then I get to buy a new toy.
Hey, nobody likes to buy new electronics more than you.
That's honestly true. That's probably true, actually.
I mean, to be fair, I'm fairly certain this is like your fourth camera since the inception of the show, but like
it's the third. So there was I was using a Chromebook that was just mediocre, and then I bought a cheap shitty one, and then I got this Razer one. And this has been the primary one. So like the first three were like within the first month or two of the show. And this one's been carrying the heavy load for the last, God, how many years? 6 now? We doing it?
Yeah, something like
that. This has been carrying this has been I guess I got my buddies for that.
For sure. It's like I got I'm using the Logitech, the C920. Still best bang for your buck webcam, I think.
Yeah, I may have to pick myself up one too, because I was heavy into the Razer stuff, and now I pretty much only have this mic and that camera, and clearly the camera has decided that focusing is not its primary function any longer. So, while I don't think I need to be so zoomed up that you can see my nose hairs, that might just be time. So.
Yeah, I mean, we even tried to get it to like autofocus on your whole face, and it just was not.
No, it's just like once I get to here, it's just like, nope, you're out of focus now because my focus is right up front. So,
and like I was trying to look whenever we were troubleshooting it, and it's like your lighting's still set up the same. The only thing that's different in your background is that Amazon package.
That didn't fix it.
No, it didn't. But it was worth a shot. I mean,
it was a good try. Maybe it blurred it out because it was thinking that, I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't see some setting that was like appear blurry.
Yeah, there's no. I was looking at your settings on my end, and it's just not not having it.
So I'm gonna coming at you blurry today, and there'll be a whole new camera angle next week.
Wow, that'll be That'll be all right. So, hey man, how was your week?
Good, busy, but good. October, I feel like, is just fucking insane. Luckily, all of the stuff this last week ended around 8 o'clock ish, so I was able to get home and watch pretty much everything. I did not watch all of Wrestle Dream because there was a lot of it, so I skipped around and I watched it the day on. I think it happened on Saturday, or yeah, it happened on Saturday. I watched it on and I watched it yesterday. So because today is Monday. Right. Yes. So the only thing I haven't watched is I've watched none of Raw today. So if anything interesting happened, I've not seen it.
I have also not watched Raw, and I did watch SmackDown, and I did watch Raw last week. But we kind of are past Raw last week, just simply because we talked about some spoilers, which we're going to get some answers to today, hopefully, concerning Seth Rollins. So hopefully that will. We'll start to get some forward movement on that and possibly know and understand a little bit better about the bum landing on the old coast to coast Chris Benoit there, which kind of leads me to want to start here. Jacob Fatu written off of television on Friday for a non-wrestling related injury. Tom, well, I didn't read the article. I just read the headline, and then they wrote him off TV. So I don't really know too much about this injury.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think that I don't think that they've given us any legitimate reason for his injury. I think that I thought that the writing of him off TV was done well. It was pretty.
I thought so too.
It was pretty gruesome.
Yes.
They had like teeth and blood and stuff laying out everywhere. I was like, holy shit. Like that's not a thing WWE does a lot of. And they really went for it. So
I think that was also like the proper use of that for WWE, because Jacob Fatu is such a polarizing character and one that has really put himself in a situation where he is kind of got that little bit of air of invincibility to him.
Yeah, he needs to be able to shake off some big damage. So, to be able to put him out for, they said into 2026 is probably, the next time we're going to see him. To be able to put a Samoan werewolf down like that, you got to really protect the character and, make it look like they beat somebody, committed a hate crime on the man. And yeah, they beat the teeth out of him and blood everywhere. And it was pretty gruesome for WWE, pretty shocking, I'd say. Usually the only time there's that much blood is if something goes awry and somebody gets busted open the hard way and manages to gush their face out and get staples in the middle of the match. So
a la Finn Balor versus Edge, Hell in a Cell.
A la Finn Balor versus Edge, Hell in the Cell. A la Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Also,
I forgot about that.
That one was fucking crazy. That was a lot of blood.
Oh man.
Punk hit him with that tool chest, and just Drew immediately there was just blood.
Tool chest, it's reaching. That was a toolbox.
Sure, okay.
It was I mean, let's.
But it sliced him from, not from asshole to appetite, but it's just certainly sliced the entirety of his forehead.
Yeah, it was pretty big gusher there. So, hey man, I don't think that this could have been any less than perfectly timed for Jacob Fatu. Clearly has emerged as a potential main eventer, and was slotted to have a number one contenders match with Drew McIntyre for Cody Rhodes, although I think Drew ultimately would have won that match anyways.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this couldn't be worse timing for Jacob.
Yeah, I definitely agree there. It seemed like, he had a really good run there. First being part of Solo's crew, and then, feuding with Solo. and I thought all of that was good. And then he took some time off TV because, I mean, to be fair, we had seen the guy 3 times a week, every week. Sometimes he was showing up on Raw. He had several segments on SmackDown. He was getting a little overused, and I think pulling him away was good. But you're right, it couldn't have been worse timing. Right as he's sort of like about to get back in and get a big push and get pushed back into the not only a title scene, the main event title scene. Getting some shine on him with Drew McIntyre, I think was a correct next step for Jacob Fatu. And we've talked about this before. SmackDown really seems to have, SmackDown needs the star power, so they needed, because Cody and Brandy had their second child, which is great, good for them, but he's their champion, and he was rightfully so, wanting to be with his wife, wanting to be with his new baby, and so he was a little less present for the last couple of months, which is perfectly understandable. But in addition to that, SmackDown itself has sort of been a little thin on talent. Is probably the best way to put it. And I thought that they had really picked up the ball and ran with it this week. Cody being back, the Cody and Drew stuff at the end I thought was really good. The Jacob Fatu despite him being written off, which sucks.
Heel turn? Is that a heel turn? Huh? Are we teasing a Cody Rhodes heel turn?
Maybe. Is Drew doing the kind of like that sort of master manipulator thing that Karrion Kross wanted to do, but now they're going to let Drew do it instead? Maybe. I don't know. I think that something else happened on Friday, and it escaped my mind. The return of Ilya Dragunov, which is a nice, and he beat that was, whew. We can talk about that match later, but holy fuck. Welcome back, Ilya Dragunov. That was something SmackDown desperately needed. As well, but the Lord
fucking Mark.
But the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away.
I can't with you. I can't. Yeah. That's your fucking match of the week, isn't it?
What? I didn't say nothing.
You did. We'll talk about that match later. That wasn't on the slate today.
Nothing. All right,
you're fucking Mark.
It's not actually.
Listen,
it's not.
You know what?
Look, man. I was trying to tease some shit. But it's not. I'm not teasing some shit.
Because you just said some goddamn hypocritical, Tom blurry bullshit. Okay,
all right,
fucking every week for the last 8 weeks, you have come in here and you have complained about Sami Zayn's segment. You do not get to come in here this week because Ilya Dragunov fucking answered the Open Challenge and won the U.S. title. Get to say
after the Miz came after, so Mello shows up and the Miz fucked up his title shot, which I liked a lot actually, which popped me at first, and then when Ilya Dragunov returned, I was like, oh fuck. And then they had a banger match, and Ilya won.
It was incredible.
And I'm a sucker for a title change. So there was that.
What a mark.
We'll see if it made my match of the week, though.
What a mark.
This was a good weekend for wrestling.
What a mark.
We'll see.
I cannot.
Look, man, if they're going to cater to me, that's what I want to see. That's what I want, is to be catered to. I want to be catered to. But yeah, back to Jacob Fatu. Really unfortunate that he's hurt. It happened. I don't know what happened. What could it be? Oh, Ashley says he's getting his teeth fixed, which is why they knocked them all out in the. But that doesn't seem
how very kayfabe of her.
Right, how very kayfabe of her. So she's how very kayfabe. But no, I think that whatever it is, I wish him. Obviously, we wish him the speediest and fullest of recoveries. We've seen things like this go awry, and then we never see them again. A la Keith Lee. I was thinking about this earlier today. A la Adam Cole, as of recently. I was thinking about, man, what big fumbles they were, but then I thought about it, and it's like, well, that was pretty much the end of their careers, because those guys. Well, Adam Cole did the devil stuff with MJF, but like. He was even hurt in and through that, and then immediately after that, just took a terrible bump, and basically, oh, your neck and your spinal column and your concussion status, and you're muted, buddy, baby. You're muted, baby. He's just gone. So
Damn, dude, I just hit you with the fucking funniest shit ever, and I just, damn it.
why'd you mute yourself? Don't mute yourself.
Sometimes I hit the button.
Don't do it. It's a mistake every time. Anyway, so Jacob Fatu being out. Hopefully it's a speedy recovery. Hopefully a nice return at the Royal Rumble is in the cards for him. I
better win that whole motherfucker.
I think that's best case scenario for him at the moment, is that we see him back at the Rumble, but it's certainly going to be into next year. It might be deep into next year, though. He may be a like that. Fatu. We may not see that till SummerSlam, which would be a fucking tragedy. But I guess we'll see what happens there. It's super unfortunate because you're right. Kneecapped the man right as he was about to be back on his upswing.
Oh, he was about to be all gas, no brakes with it. Yada mean.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I do think that ultimately Drew would have won that. Won that number one contendership match, but it's still that brushing up against him and Cody.
And
puts you up there in a big way.
And who's to say we wouldn't have seen a good program between Jacob and Drew as well? Jacob's kind of been a babyface as of lately. We've definitely been a babyface. So I mean, who's to say we wouldn't have seen a good program? Drew and Cody have their little thing, and then Cody moves on, and Jacob and Drew have a thing. I think that could have been a solid segment on Friday nights. Throughout. Although I think we forgot to mention it, or maybe we mentioned it. Oh God, what's his face? He's back. The MFT man. Yeah. Tamatonga is back.
He looks jacked too, bro.
He does look jacked. He looks like he feels good.
Looks like a little goddamn Tasmanian devil.
Can dance all night. Woo! And I like that they brought the war paint back in.
Fucking yoked, like.
They brought the war paint back. Yeah. Like the war paint is back too, which I like. You muted it. You hit it. You hit the button.
That's a throwback to their New Japan days.
Yeah, I have an action figure of Tamatonga somewhere with big hair and that war paint on. I don't know where it is. It's upstairs in a bin. But I have a New Japan action figure that I picked up at the exchange. God, 10, 12 years ago. It's in a bin in the attic. It used to hang on the wall.
So I myself had a snap purchase, I guess, right? I was walking through Walmart today and I saw this display for WWE's championship slap bracelets. Okay, they were on sale. They're mystery. They're mystery. So like I bought one because they were on sale. I got a North American Championship.
That's not bad. That's not a bad. I mean, I don't think there's a bad championship in there unless you're collecting them and you've already got a few. But I think
this is Series 1, so like there's only like 8 you can get.
How many fucking belts are there?
There are a lot.
12, 15?
There are a lot. They're including NXT championships too.
And I guess a lot of tag. There's a lot of garbage tag champions.
And I mean, one of the super rare on the back of the package was the Undertaker Legacy belt. Like,
I mean, okay, I guess they could just pull out whatever they want. They could
your camera just did it looked like it grabbed you and then it let you go.
It did?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
All right. I actually feel like I'm looking blurrier on this side.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if I go away before they were done here. I wouldn't be shocked if I just. I think this is I think.
Well,
Definitely.
if you're just checking in with us, in case you haven't noticed, you can't see Tom. The webcam has decided to go bye bye Kaputskis. But hey, while you're here, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for us. We would greatly appreciate it. Um, I don't know, man. The ceiling for Jacob Fatu seems extremely high. And
I
I
mean,
wish him.
I don't know that he hits face of the company level, but he's certainly the guy who gets to beat up the face of the company several
Yeah,
times
for sure,
throughout his
for
career.
sure. So really looking forward to him returning and getting back on track. Um, but we talk about high ceilings. Those high school cafeteria ceilings aren't very high. You
Sure
know,
aren't.
that's where Don the barber's friend Karrion Cross was working this past weekend. Whenever he put some 73-pound woman through the ceiling in the high school cafeteria that he was getting his paycheck from.
Yeah, it's sort of like, I mean, I'm not like, look, I'm all for people going on to the indies and doing stuff, but like indies that are like, hey, come to your local middle school cafeteria for one night only. Former WWE superstar FKA Karrion Cross, Killer Cross, is going to take on some 78-pound girl in a blood match. And that's not actually what happened. It was just an appearance for the most part. But no, I think it was a match. May have even been mixed tag. But yeah, he totally picked her up and like threw her into those like drop ceiling tiles. I'm like, man, those things, they bust them shits up in that high school cafeteria, and here we are, like.
Next thing you know, there's fucking fish sandwiches getting launched up there on fucking Fridays.
Exactly,
You
and they're
know,
throwing those square pizza slices and chicken fries at everybody, and not the peanut butter square. For the love of God, somebody save the peanut butter squares. I would give my right hand for a peanut butter square or 20. Those things were unbelievable. Do you remember the peanut butter squares? Oh my God. With the little like fun, like just the dusting of like the crumbliness on top. Just oh my
yeah, no. We us civilized folk in Brooke County, we had
I
to
lived in Brooke County.
make sure that we got our fruits and veggies with our hot lunch, and our vegetables were some not so fresh berries with some kind of water over it and a granola crunch. That was
Some watery berry. You guys got some watery ass berries. we,
they
we
they
meanwhile
called it a cobbler.
meanwhile we're eating we're eating fucking straight up like it's just straight peanut butter and sugar. It's just to the face. That's all it was. There's peanut butter and powdered sugar mixed up and like cut into little squares. It was just like,
The
here you
best was
go.
the best was peach cobbler day, right from the fucking number 10 can, juice and all, and
We had
just
peach cobbler
slap
day.
some of that granola crumble
Yeah.
crunch on top and throw it in the oven, heat it up, call it a day.
That shit was great. I did like the peach cobbler too. That was that. I mean, if you, that was next,
We clearly had different peach cobblers.
we probably did because my peach cobbler was actually pretty good. Shout out to Hootie's mom for making sure we got hooked up with the good ass peach cobbler and the peanut butter squares, not the fucking wet bear.
Oh, holy shit. Karrion Cross made us start talking about fucking high school hot lunches.
Well, he was in a cafeteria, for God's sake. What else are we supposed to talk about? We're supposed to get nostalgic about weird square pizza with questionable, is it sausage? Is it pepperoni? Is it just some mystery salted
Yes.
cube? Yeah. What's on it? Mystery
Yes.
salted thing that makes
Meat pizza. That's all
Yeah.
it said. And then
like, what? But what's this meat? It's fucking Slim Jim. What is Slim Jim? We don't know. Snap into spice.
oh shit.
But
In the
that's what
meantime,
Karrion
Karrion Cross is serving up fucking ceiling tiles.
sure is. She ate that whole thing. She was up there like, Barry? Got pulled back down. That was a I don't know that it was sad, but that's like, I don't know that that's the aura you want to give off, right? If you're like looking to be back in like a big time spot in a big time company 3 months after like just your contract expiring, I don't know that you want to be throwing girls with blue hair that match their tights through the ceilings of high school cafeterias. I think that's a bad look. So
You know what's wild though? 2 weeks ago, we were talking about this guy being on fucking Ariel Helwani's show and talking about fucking AEW thinks that this is all a work, and if it's not, sign us. And now you're showing up in fucking high school cafeterias. I just don't. Where is the disconnect? Like,
I mean, the crowd kind of went mild too when he showed up. I don't know that anybody was into that either. I don't know where the internet went with that. The internet wrestling community was sure that Karrion Kross was the next forever champion. And we want Kross, but now he's just throwing girls into high school cafeteria ceilings. So I had faith in the guy. I wanted the guy to do well. And look, like, he's going to come for me now. Like, because we're basically high school cafeteria level wrestling podcast. He's gonna come for me now. Like, we're our levels are the same. So like, he's gonna come for me in the same way that like Seth Rollins would go for Dave Meltzer, right?
Yeah.
So he's gonna come for me. And like,
well, lucky for you, he can't see you.
He can't see me. Can't see my face now, buddy. It's probably because of the cum. Anyway,
witness protection program over here from fucking Killer Kross.
Can't get me now, Karrion. Can't get me now. Yeah, man. What a.
Oh, Kevin.
I hope that the greener pastures are ready for them. This was not a green pasture. This was one of those, like, like when all the grass is dead because it's been real hot and it hasn't rained, and like your front yard doesn't have a tree in it, and like it's just all this like brown yellow. That's what that pasture is.
That's a pretty specific pasture.
It's a very there's dead spots where in the
oh
like,
my god, that's his soul.
You almost hear like that's that kind of pasture is where he is right now. So hopefully there are greener pastures in his future. Him and Scarlett, because I think there's a spot for them in somebody's mid card. So and hopefully they get that. But I don't know where that is.
Wow, doubles down on the triple down. I just you're a unique creature, Tom. Like who doubles down on a triple down, or who doubles down on a triple down?
Who double dogs a triple dog? I don't know. I guess just me. But fuck, man, like, what are we doing?
Getting paid.
I hope so.
I mean, $20 is $20.
Yeah. I was thinking like 600, but yeah, $20, $20. Fuck.
$20 is $20. So there's a lot of drama going on.
Just got worse. Cameron totally just got worse. It's dying. I'm starting to phase out.
I mean, it's definitely getting worse.
That didn't help.
No. It's just angrier. Now it's
Yeah.
it's like super fuzzy now.
Just bees.
So I'm trying to find something here. So just give me a minute.
Yeah, but so I didn't see Scarlett in the in there. I assume she was there somewhere. I assume she was around. So like that's probably good because I know that was sort of the linchpin, right? Is that like he didn't want to like not have Scarlett with him. The contract, like there was a contract for him, but there wasn't a contract for Scarlett, and he was like, no, it's me, it's both of us or neither of us. And good on him for doing that because that's probably going to work in his favor at some point, but like maybe it won't. I don't know. I feel like maybe the whole like Scarlet angle has sort of like run its course. I mean, I think Scarlet's still a smoke show, but like, am I the target demographic? And also, I'm not going to turn on the TV for Scarlet either. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I don't. No.
And maybe that's like maybe that's the problem, right? Is that like the guys who Scarlet would pander to are guys who are like, you know, well, it's great, that's nice, right? And it's like, oh, well, it's a good part of the presentation, but like, I can't imagine, like, Scarlet probably wanted like serious money, and she's not bringing eyeballs, and like, he's not also really bringing that many eyeballs.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, here I go. I thought you were looking for the next thing. What are we talking about?
I'm just waiting for you to finish bashing Kevin.
Anyway, so nobody's bringing eyeballs, and now we are, and they can just play in high school gymnasiums. Maybe that's the next step, the gymnasium. And then maybe we can even move it to the outdoor Jericho Cruise. When's that happen? Next year. March-ish?
Yeah.
No AEW talent.
Yeah. It's going to all be WWE talent because it seems like that's going to be a thing. At least the internet would believe you.
Hi, guys!
But leads you to believe. I mean, we can talk about that, but that's not where I was going.
Okay, where were you going?
So let's just make sure that on the next Jericho Cruise that Darby Allin and Jon Moxley don't show up because somebody might get thrown overboard and actually really drown because there was an attempted murder on pay-per-view this weekend.
It wasn't even the first attempted murder in this feud,
which led to some pretty heavy criticism on the old interwebs, including that of a former AEW backstage producer.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Uh-oh, we had a friend of the show here. See, the problem is that I'm blurry, so if you put your hands over your face and like make a big dramatic exit,
like I have to read this, but like I already know that I'm gonna lose at least 25 minutes of my life as soon as I finish this comment. And there's not a fucking thing I'm gonna be able to do to stop it.
Okay, here we go. Let's go.
So I'm gonna try though.
20 minutes is a long time. You're not
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try.
All right, you might lose 5. I think 5's coming.
Don the Barber, that poor blue-headed woman couldn't make it to the No Kings rally because of Karrion Kross.
Oh well, you know what? I was there in her stead. I did see it.
There we go.
Threw up the middle fingers for to our president, who is I'm going to take a word out of their playbook. Not my president. Honest to God, I would have spit on Donald Trump in 1992.
Here we go. See, I knew it.
Spit right into his motherfucking face.
I knew it.
He was still a Democrat at that. He was still a Democrat at that point. In fact,
Don, like, why do you do these things?
in fact,
Like, why do you do
fact,
these things?
when they were the battles, did the Battle of the Billionaires, I hated Vince McMahon. Hated Vince McMahon. However, when they did Battle of the Billionaires,
I'm not going to be able to stop him.
I rooted for Vince McMahon. I wanted Donald Trump to get his stupid, fluffy head shaved. And you know what? That didn't happen because Vince McMahon and WWE did not love me.
Bro. Why you do this to me?
But it's okay because I was still there on Saturday.
And like, why you do this to me? Why?
And you know what?
I just, why? Why you do this to me?
That's it. I'm done. Fuck Donald Trump.
Awesome.
I
really
choked on his Big Mac.
Really enjoyed that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, I appreciate you. You know, keeping it.
See, it was like 2 minutes. It was like a minute and a half.
You know, I mean, it's still like
20.
You know,
said everything that needs to be said.
Okay. So, anyways, the attempted murder on pay-per-view at 12:30 a.m. has come under heavy criticism by a former AEW backstage producer named Sarah Stock.
Okay.
Sarah
heard the name.
Sarah picked up her mobile device just like this. And she opened up the Twix app just like this.
Shined it up real nice.
And then she started pecking them Twitter fingers. And this is what she had to say. You know who should stop this? ? Mothers.
Huh?
Period. With their remote control. This is worse than the plastic bag over the head. Kids are going to end up dead trying this stuff at home.
Mothers?
Yeah.
That is not the direction I thought that was going to go.
Yeah.
My mother sat there and watched a man be crucified on an Undertaker symbol. The Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, wow. I'm proud of you. You used to call it the Undertaker symbol.
My mother watched the Undertaker crucify Stone Cold Steve Austin on an Undertaker symbol.
That's right. It was a symbol.
Yeah, I remember this very vividly because it was just the three of us hanging out in my parents' living room when what were we, 15? Yeah. And I remember it happening, and I remember it getting pulled up, and I remember my mom going and walking out of the room while my dad and I were fully engrossed in what's going on.
So
shout out to my dad.
So I share a similar experience in my formidable years, right? As a wrestling fan, watching some extremely questionable things happen during the Attitude Era. And while I tend to agree with some of these statements in this tweet, I disagree with a lot of it also, right? I think that from the standpoint of mothers, you know, my mom, whatever, fucking, you're watching this stupid shit again, right? Like,
I'm pretty sure she said that to me at one point.
Yeah, probably.
Why are you guys watching this dumb shit? Like,
yeah,
because it's fun. We're having fun.
We're having fun, and I think that's the difference.
That guy's undead.
I think that's the difference between then and now.
And that guy lives in a boiler room.
Because this crop of youngsters is fucking stupid. Okay, they're fucking dumb.
So,
like, they're real dumb.
Yes, but in this match particularly, and John Moxley and Darby Allin particularly, it's and allegedly going into this match, Tony Khan nixed several ideas that were basically John's gonna kill Darby legitimately. It was like, we're gonna impale him on a bastard sword, and they were like, no, we're not going to impale him on a bastard sword. And it was like, okay, hear me out. Iron Maiden, he comes out looking like Hamburger. No. Also no. Okay, hear me out. We're just gonna fucking shoot him. also now. So what they came up with was Claudio was going to throw this man. Claudio threw a full-sized adult man. Well, at least like mostly full-sized adult man, like 20 feet from inside the ring onto the announce desk where he bounced, bang, like almost into the front row. First of all, the amount of strength that it takes to
You
throw
know what frustrates me is that like you've been so high on AEW and it took one fucking thing for you to come crashing back down to
So
earth.
it was like this match in particular. I'm not saying it came crashing down because, like,
When it comes crashing down and it hurts
I
inside.
mean, it hurt a little inside because, like, when I watched this happen, because I was like, I had heard as I turned on, and like as I'm watching this the following day and skipping through shit that I don't want to see, I'm like, I'm seeing things on like Twitter and Instagram where it's like this shit is like what's fucking happening right now, but like then I watched the match in its entirety, and it's basically a John Moxley match where like Darby occasionally hits him with like a bat, and John Moxley just sort of shrugs it off, and you're just like, what?
Well, he's the lunatic fringe.
Sure. And then Darby Allin gets hit with the same bat and also shrugs it off because, but also probably broke ribs in that exchange, and it's a little too much, right? It just becomes one of those things where it's like, you guys are really just sort of doing a weird fetish thing here, and the rest of us aren't with it. And the fact that it happened at 12, it was the main event. It happened at like 12:30 a.m. But it's like you guys are already out here doing like this. Like this is too much. And it's not like they shut the lights out. This is unsanctioned, or maybe they did. I really just kicked it off at the beginning. But I want to sort of fast forward to the ending because like there was only two spots that really like make a lot of sense, or not sense, that were like, what the fuck is happening here? And the first spot is Claudio hucking Darby Allin like he weighs nothing but is just heavy enough to fly and bounce off a table. Shout out to Claudio Castagnoli for being able to hit a table from inside the ring like with a human. It's kind of a weird thing because he's sort of like, it's like when, you know, in the NBA when somebody shoots and it's swish, it's like really cool, and it doesn't have to like bounce off the backboard or like, but so it was kind of like that because he just like and he was like bang right off the meat of right where he was supposed to hit. So shout out to Claudio for being good at human basketball. But then at the end of the match, like the attempted murder part is basically there's a fish tank in the middle of the ring.
It's like a 5-gallon fish tank. Like it's not even big enough.
It's a big fucking fish tank.
It's not big.
And
5
Darby
gallons
is
tiny.
but Darby is beaten to a pulp, right? Like clearly he's just bounced off a table into the first row. And Moxley grabs this man by the head and just stuffs his head into water to drown him, like he's drowning him in a bathtub. And if you're watching this like unspoiled, you're looking at this like, oh, John Moxley is attempting to actually murder Darby, probably for the third time in the match, if we're being serious. But the other things kind of happened too quick. Because there was like a point in time where like he tried to smash his head with some stairs on some other stairs. Like there was that spot where it's like, hey, there's your head. I'm gonna squash it like it's a watermelon. Oh, you moved. So it was probably like the third attempted murder. So he's just holding him in the water, like. Thankfully, old man Sting shows up, who we never thought we were going to see again. But old man Sting O'Claws shows up, just fucking hits everybody with the bat, breaks the water, like just breaks the thing. Just
yeah, now there's all this broken glass in the.
And there's broken glass and fucking water everywhere. Like it's everything. It's so like it really was like a 5-gallon tank. Like there's water everywhere. Match finishes from there, but like, what? Imagine the things that they were told, because the reports have come out. They were told no. Imagine what they were told no. Hey, we're gonna decapitate Darby and punt his head into the crowd where Sting catches it, and then comes in and wins the match and pins him with Darby's decapitated head. Can we do that? Like, you're gonna kill this guy? Well, I mean, yeah, for the show, like we're gonna kill him, right? It'll be fine. No, won't be fine. I feel like that was like something they pitched. We're gonna cut his head all the way off, and we're gonna punt it. But
you are so fucking dramatic.
But Sting is gonna catch it.
I just
tell me they didn't like at least try that. Like this guy was like, I'm gonna die on Mount Everest, and then he did, and then he didn't die. And then tell me he didn't come back and like, all right, look, they're gonna decapitate me and punt it into the crowd. But Sting is gonna catch my head. So
you're putting this on Darby?
Yeah, absolutely. It was his idea. It's for sure his idea.
Yeah, for sure. I'll give you that.
Sting is gonna catch it, and then like hit Jon Moxley with a bat a couple times, and then pin him with my head. That has to be something they pitched.
Oh my goodness gracious. So anyways, do you know another woman by the name of Amanda Huber?
I do.
She just happens to be the widow of the late, great Mr. Brody Lee, a.k.a. Luke Harper.
I was going to say, hey, Luke Harper, yeah.
She replied to Miss Stock on the old Twitter fingers and said, this was midnight on a pay-per-view. Meanwhile, when you were working, you choked another woman out with a belt. Where was the outrage over kids trying that?
Oof.
And you want to quote tweet a video of me talking about kids' grief to defend you being a hypocrite? Question mark. Fuck all the way off.
Oof. Yeah. Oof. I mean, I don't know that all that's true. I've not seen any of that.
Wait. She wasn't done.
Oh, boy.
Want to know what my kids, because I have kids, were doing at midnight last night? Question mark. Sleeping.
Yeah.
Want to know why? Question mark. Because they're kids.
Yeah.
My wrestling loving kids. Want to know what they weren't watching? A match between two performers who are known for taking things to an extreme. Want to know why? Question mark. Because it's my responsibility as a parent to know what it is they're consuming. It's cool, though. I'll let them watch some old TNA stuff, and they can learn to choke each other out with a belt, since that's cool, because checks notes. Tits look great.
Oof. I don't know. It's unfortunate. My kids think wrestling's lame. I would have definitely let them watch Jon Moxley drown Darby Allin and be like, see, this is why you can't be a Darby Allin fan. But that's some tough love.
Sarah, however, has recently replied and said, sure. Anytime I see attempted murder in wrestling without a disclaimer, regardless of the company, my opinion remains the same. It's dumb.
So I do kind of think that Sarah's right. I don't think that attempted
I also
murder...
think Amanda's right.
Right. So, like, they can both be right at the same time, but, like, I don't think attempted murder in a wrestling ring is appropriate in 2025. I don't know that it
on a properly rated pay-per-view that you paid your money for at 12 o'clock at night. Not any different than watching a rated R movie, buddy.
You're right, but to this day, I think within pro wrestling, I think that there's. So remember when we were talking about Hell in the Cell earlier? Remember when the Undertaker hung the Big Boss Man?
Yes.
In Hell in the Cell.
Yes.
Also
attempted murder.
Also attempted murder. I mean, it was allegedly murder. I mean, WWE has allegedly murdered during Undertaker matches several people. They all came back. Paul Bearer was buried in cement.
Kane. Mick Foley was buried a couple of times.
Yeah, Mick Foley was buried. Undertaker was buried alive several times. I'm pretty sure the Good Brothers were actually killed.
Yeah.
Did they come back after that?
Yeah, they did come back after that.
Okay, so they weren't dead.
Yeah. But they were gone for a really, really long time.
We were certain they were dead.
They had to sleep that WrestleMania death off.
Yeah, we were certain they were dead. Who else?
Look at that. They got their WrestleMania moment. The Undertaker killed them.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio was thrown off of Titan Tower during Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure was, by Baron Corbin.
Yeah, he died there.
I think you heard the
yeah, you did. We did. We got the whole sound effect.
Yep, sure did. That's Otis won that match.
Otis did win that match.
Oh yeah.
And then
he started carrying the lunch pail.
Yeah, and somehow Miz ended up with the title after that.
Yeah, and then cashed it in.
Is Otis might be dead. He was in Mexico for a minute.
Mexico.
We've not seen him since. Otis might be dead.
Yeah, Mexico.
So, I'm not saying that attempted murder is a good idea. I'm just saying that it never works out in the long term. So maybe cut it out, because you guys have been trying to actually murder each other. I'm pretty sure this is going to go out. I feel like I am fading away. I am so much more blurry than I was. Anyway, yeah, quite the ending, quite the controversial ending. That being said, the whole pay-per-view in and of itself was actually pretty good. Do we want to kind of walk through that? Not walk through it, just kind of bounce through it real quick.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
All right, so going in, here's the card. I Quit match, Darby Allin, Jon Moxley, which we talked about just at length. Hangman Adam Page, champion, versus Samoa Joe. Cater to me more. This, to me, was where the pay-per-view was over. This was great. Fantastic match. I love Joe. It took three buckshot lariats to even get Joe off his feet. Great match. Joe still looks. Joe can still put on a 5-star match in my heart. This was great.
3 buckshot lariats just to put Joe down.
I loved it. It was the whole match.
Man, that doesn't make a champion look very strong now, does it?
It does not. But honestly, I like Samoa Joe.
Are they going to do the same thing with Hangman again as the last time, and they're going to relegate him to the mid card as the world champion? Because I mean, when you say things like 3 buckshot lariats to even knock Joe off of his feet, come on, man, that is that man's finishing.
Well, it was
that's his finishing move.
It was the finish, but
I'm just saying, man.
It was. You're right. It was, but I mean, it's like for Seth Rollins to get 3 stomps in, they need to continue to pick themselves up so that he can bang again. So I felt like this was a similar call to that. Mm-hmm. But you're right, because for the stomp, you have to be sort of trying to pull yourself up on your elbows, I can't be bang, and with the buckshot lariat, it's I have to stand all the way upright to eat a shot to my chest.
It's it's a violent collision. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, but within the context of what was going on, I thought it was great. Smojo, I thought was great. I thought the whole match was great. AW has a problem, and this was where I was going with this, with everybody, especially in title matches, being a little too invincible because Adam Page took a muscle buster, which has like sort of half paralyzed the guy before, onto a title, which should have been game over, game set match, and he kicked out of that. So it was a little too much. Everybody's a little too invincible, but the match in and of itself as a whole was good, minus that everybody's a little too invincible, which is a criticism I can throw at both AEW and WWE because it kind of happens too much now. It's like, let's pull it back, guys. Let's not just like fucking kill somebody with like 6 of the same finisher. It's not like, you don't need to be that invincible. Chris Statlander versus Timeless Tony Storm, Part 2, Electric Boogaloo, was also very good. It wasn't as good as their first match, but it was very good. The build was better than the match itself was.
Of course it was.
Mark Briscoe versus Kyle Fletcher. I didn't watch. I don't care what's happening with Mark Briscoe. He lost, clearly.
I mean, as he should have.
Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks for $500,000. They both have bigger contracts than that. This didn't seem to have a whole lot of weight to it. It went too long. It's nice to see Jurassic Express back together, but at the same time, like, who fucking cares? Tag Team Championship match, Brodito versus Takeshita and Okada. I do believe Brodito retained in that one. I didn't watch it. Don't care. TBS Championship Open Challenge, Mercedes Moné, who now is has 12 belts. 12.
Who fucking cares?
Nobody. Because can you name any of them?
Yes, the WPW Women's World Championship, the TBS Championship. She's the interim Ring of Honor Women's Television Champion.
Wait, interim?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Does that even count if you're interim?
Yeah, I mean, it's still a belt.
Sure, we'll put it on 12. Yeah. Okay.
She has the Queen of the South Side Championship.
The fuck is even that?
She's the CMLL Women's Champion.
Okay.
She's the Owen Hart Memorial Classic Women's Champion.
Okay, now we're just like, I feel like that was a trophy, and they just made it a belt for. You're right. Okay. All right. You've made your point. Jamie Hayter versus Thekla, I did watch. Pretty decent. Would have been fine on TV though. Too many matches. Tornado Trios, Hurt Syndicate versus The Demand. I did watch this because MVP was going to wrestle. I liked it. I watched it at 2.5 times speed. It was fine. But yeah, really where I'm going here is Hangman and Samoa Joe. Good shit. Tony Storm and Chris Statlander, good shit, but not as good as what they've done prior. Statlander retained, if we're not, clear on
as
that.
she should have.
As she should have, absolutely. Thankfully. But again, same thing with Adam Page. He retained. He beat Samoa Joe. So like even like the best matches really for titles were just basically and still, which to me is sort of a like, it undercuts your pay-per-view, especially for AEW, because this cost $50 to watch. And like, what? Okay, great, awesome. And I feel like it's only been 3 weeks since the last pay-per-view. So it makes sense, but like, why would I pay to watch all of your champions retain? Especially when you can do something like this on a Title Tuesday, or a very special 3-hour edition of Collision or whatever. it was good in the sense that they built really well to it, and the matches themselves were pretty good overall. But like, if you paid $50 to watch this, what did you see? Like, you could have
You saw an attempted murder at midnight.
an attempted murder, right? That's all you saw was an attempted murder. Everything else is more or less the exact same as it was the last Wednesday that you watched. And you've got no new information.
Okay.
But you could have watched. Actually, this was a shorter show than their This was probably about 6 hours, whereas usually, or 5.5. Usually their shows run somewhere close to 7.5. So, they've cut this down a solid hour and a half. And I think that maybe was part of it. But also, the last hour was a attempted murder.
Oof. So, I don't know, man. I didn't watch it.
Like I said, I picked all the title matches and then watched the main event on double speed, much to my eventual chagrin. Although it was nice to see Darby win, but it's not like he killed him. He didn't decapitate Moxley and hold his head to the crowd. He won sort of thanks to Sting after almost dying like 3 times.
It's Sting.
Tony Schiavone was fucking on one also, if we're being honest. Excalibur is seemingly, I don't know if I've like grown numb to him. Schiavone still like sticks in my ear like a thorn, and Schiavone was so mad when Claudio chucked Darby at him, like, because Schiavone was sitting there at ringside. He's like, "What the hell?" Just got fucking a grown ass man thrown at him. Everybody was gone, by the way, but grown ass man thrown at Tony Schiavone. Would have been better had Darby actually just hit Schiavone, I think. But that's, what do I know? What do I know?
Well, I mean, if I were to guess, Tom, you probably know about as much as Tony Khan did looking over Andrade's fucking contract.
Oof.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but a couple weeks ago we talked about Andrade leaving WWE and all of that, and
you're right. 2 weeks ago he left.
Yeah, we joked and said, "Oh, how long till he winds up back in AEW?" How about 2 days later he ended
2
up
days later, Wednesday,
in AEW.
In fact, you texted me and go, "Did Andrade just fucking show up in AEW?"
Yes,
and I'm like, "Sure did."
And then last week, what was it? So this has been 3 weeks now, and then so 2 weeks ago, last week. He was missing, and a bunch of whatever, a bunch of hubbubaloo about him not even being there was made. And then in the last couple of days, some little blurbs and some little factoids have started to kind of bubble up to the surface of this boiling pot of shit. And
what a great descriptor.
Allegedly, WWE has served Tony Khan and AEW with a cease and desist letter concerning Andrade.
Yeah. So, to put this into context, obviously it was like there were only a couple days between his release and his show up in AEW, which to everybody watching looked fucking weird, right? Like everybody went, "Huh? They can do that?" As the fallout started to happen, and following Andrade's absence, we come to find out that, yes, like you'd said, that they had WWE had sent a cease and desist letter to AEW to say, hey, he's still under non-compete. He can't be on your television or we're going to sue you. We come to find out after that TKO is going to be enforcing a clause in Andrade particularly's contract. Go ahead.
I have the contract verbiage here.
Okay.
as
Yes, this is good. Read this.
So Brian Alvarez had said that the new TKO contracts have a clause where if you are fired for cause or breach,
kind of both in Andrade's case.
Okay.
Cause and breach. Because he did one was called, didn't pick up, was scheduled, didn't show up, had to do things, didn't show up, continued to not show up, but then showed up when he wasn't supposed to. So
and then failed wellness checks.
And yes, and failed wellness checks. So it was a double attack here. We're just like, bam, fired for cause. Also, you fucked this up. Like, you fucked it up, then we fired you. And then, yes, you're fucked up and you're double fired. So Andrade was double fired.
So if you are fired for cause or breach, there is
both. Andrade's had both. He's done
there
both.
is a 1 year non-compete. 365 days.
Yes.
Now, the older contracts had this, but it's the standard now. This is the holdup that is involving Andrade. Now, Brian Alvarez reported that. Behind that, SRS over at Fightful has now followed up with the exact language of said clause. And I'm not really sure what article this is of the contract, but it's paragraph B. It says, upon termination of this agreement by promoter, WWE, for breach or terms thereof, wrestler Andrade shall not work, appear, or perform in any capacity for any professional wrestling, sports entertainment, mixed martial arts, and or ultimate fighting organization, promotion, or entity not owned or controlled by promoter, TKO, WWE.
I see. I believe that exists within the USA border. So theoretically, he could still show up in CMLL because they're not going to necessarily be.
Well, I'm glad that you brought that up because the paragraph B continues to say, in the United States, for a period of up to 1 year from the date of such expiration or termination, as specified by the promoter in the notice of termination provided. However, that if no lesser period is specified by promoter in the notice of termination, such period shall be 1 year. Now, SRS goes on to say, however, there's also a follow-up in this contract that's Article 12.4, right? In no circumstances whatsoever shall either party to this agreement be liable to the other party for any punitive or exemplary damages, and all such damages, whether arising out of the breach of this agreement or otherwise, are expressly waived.
So nobody can sue anybody for damages. However, you can't work. This all so, and I've read all of this as well. Those of you who don't know, I have a law degree in which I don't practice, and I am not a lawyer for Andrade or WWE or AEW or anybody in this sense. To me, this is so vague. This is one of those like contracts where it's almost forcing a judge, right? And it's one of those things where it's like, we're going to be a thorn in your side if you leave. however, you've signed this, and this is one of those things I think that needs to be said is that nobody. These are contracts for millions of dollars. These are millionaires signing contracts with billion-dollar industries. Like let's put this into context. This isn't guys like you and I who do fine, but like these are for contracts that are more money than we've made or seen in our whole lives for a 3 to 5 year period, right? And it's a short amount of time. Even if it's $2 or $3 million, it's a lot of fucking money, right? And so clauses like this are in here not for, oh, well, you have to abide by it and you're constrained, but they're in here because you can send, like we've seen, a cease and desist letter. And you can send, at this point, if you want to fight it, you hire an attorney and you have to take said attorney and you have to fight it in court in front of a judge. Of course, at some point, WWE is going to settle and say, all right, fine. Your non-compete clause is 90 days or whatever they end up to, 120 days. But the problem is, especially if we're talking about Andrade particularly, the problem is that nobody can get a hold of him, right? Nobody can be, they can't control it. And they want some control. That's the problem.
Oh shit!
So what they're going to do, and what WWE, and I'm not saying,
Don the Barber says they can't sue, but the Flares can contact ICE to show up to the arena.
Don, why you gotta do this to me? Why you gotta do this to Walt, Don? God damn it! Walt's over here playing, or Don's over here playing the fucking heel of the goddamn show. First of all, Andrade has a visa to be here.
Yeah, whatever.
WWE has seen to it.
Listen, I like what I like. This is a great storyline, Don. I'm here for it.
Wait, can this happen on television?
I mean, no, I don't. Why not? If Vince was running the company, it would have already happened on television.
It sure would have. Holy shit! This would have been like, what was the guy after 9/11? What was the?
Fucking. Oh, dude,
Muhammad Hassan.
Yeah, Muhammad Hassan, and that was so good too.
Right?
Like it was so good.
Oh my god, that was some fucking heat, and there wasn't blood involved. There were just so fucking good. Like Muslim ninjas showed up.
And the thing is, they started that storyline before 9/11, and then after 9/11, bro, it was fuck. Good lord.
They were just like, let's just see what happens here. The guy is like Italian.
Nah, that's Tiger Ali Singh.
Yeah.
I think so. Pretty sure.
Oh no, a judge had to bring him back.
We did almost get rid of non-competes, and then
a Trump judge
had to bring him back. So like that was quashed. As far as if Vince was around, they'd have dragged Andrade back during his non-compete and put in a whole ice angle because it would have been fucking money.
That's good shit, pal.
Exactly. That would have been good shit, pal. Obviously, nobody would have been actually at risk of going to Alligator Alcatraz, but Vince would have been like, "That's good shit, pal," and that would have been that would have been the thing. That being said, that didn't happen, and now we're in.
Get me the two handsomest square-jawed motherfuckers that just you have. Put them in this uniform.
Yeah,
they're gonna come out here and they're gonna duck Andrade.
Yeah. They're gonna carry him out, but he's gonna escape, and then we're gonna do this for a few weeks. And there's gonna be, we've got they would pull some big white chooch.
It would be like the 24/7 championship, except it's
Andrade running from. That's what, they'd have pulled whoever the current day Bull Buchanan. You remember Bull Buchanan?
Yeah.
It would have been Bull Buchanan, but instead of it being just the Boss Man vest, it would have been exact same uniform, except embroidered on that vest would have been ice. And modern day Bull Buchanan would have chased Andrade around, and that's all it would have been. But we're not getting that because this is actually legal stuff, and once you're talking about billionaires and millionaires, we're not getting ICE involved. It's not that's not a thing. This ICE is more the Gestapo. We're more looking at at the certain level members of the Trump administration. We can tie them to similar members of Hitler's Nazi party. Who would be? I guess that blonde chick who lies on TV would be Joseph Goebbels. Who was in charge of the Gestapo? Oh God, start with an M. Heimler Munich. Anyway, not important, but that would have been fucking Herman the German, Stephen Miller. Heidenreich, yes. Heidenreich could no. Well, Heidenreich.
That dude was actually like a neo-Nazi though.
He was.
Because Bruce Pritchard talks about it. Well, he used to talk about it on his podcast all the time. Now JBL's in that seat. It's actually still pretty palatable. Conrad and JBL. I watch it on YouTube every once in a while. But Bruce Pritchard talked about how the dude that played Heidenreich had to wear high boots because he had a swastika tattooed on his leg.
Oof. Didn't know that, but that, kind of checks out. Vince would have been like, "That's good shit, pal," because Vince didn't fucking care. And I think it's important to point out that Vince McMahon could look at somebody and he could have a swastika on his eye, right? And Vince would see him as Hulk Hogan could beat you to a bloody pulp, and I would make $10 billion.
Don the Barber corrected me. That was Ludwig Borga. You're absolutely right.
Anyway, point being, Andrade, man, we shit over him all over him last week. Guy really fucked himself. And look, if he gets a lawyer and they take it to court, WWE's going to settle. It's going to end up being 90 days or something like that where he can't compete. But they're going to force him to sue, and then they'll settle. But they're going to create roadblocks and make it a pain in his ass. And that's what these are for, right? And I got into fights with people on Reddit about this, is that that's what these are for. It's this does not hold up in court at all. But WWE is saying, all right. Maybe not a year. 90 days. You just can't be anywhere else, which is the fucking standard, right? That's where everybody ends up signing. But it'll be 90 days from the date of the decision. And for those of you who understand how courts work, it'll be at least 60 days from that point. Now, the judge may say, all right, it's going to be 90 days, but this happened 60 days ago, so we're going to count that as time served and yada, yada. However, Andrade has now already showed up in AEW, not only breaching the contract and being fired for cause, but double breaching. It's like a double breach fire. So it's entirely possible, and we can follow this, and we'll figure it out, where it ends up, where this shakes out. Maybe Andrade will just sit at home in Mexico for a year and show up next year. We don't know.
WWE still would have to pay during that 1 year, wouldn't they?
That's what I'm not clear on, is that I feel like if you sit on a non-compete, you have to at least pay whatever the the guarantee is throughout that non-compete, right? That's how it's worked in the past. I'm unclear as to whether or not that's part of it. I think if they don't pay, I think that a suit is inevitable. That being said, Andrade is worth, and I looked this up because I was like, well, what's Andrade worth, right? Andrade's worth somewhere around 5 to 6 million at this point. I mean, he was married to Charlotte Flair for a minute there, and he has signed some pretty substantial contracts in AEW. I mean, we saw him and Charlotte on Instagram and like where they were and the kind of money they had and were spending on their honeymoon and etc. So I would imagine that Andrade's got, he's pretty well off. So it's not necessarily that like, oh, he's just this poor pauper who's scraping by, can't afford an attorney to fight, big mean old TKO. It's like we're talking about a billionaire company suing their millionaire former employees. Excuse me if I don't have sympathy for anybody in this situation. It's interesting to see where it shakes out. But also, if everybody's a dick in this situation, why should I care? Right? And I think that's really the main event of the story. Why should I care? Like Andrade has continuously shot himself in the foot whilst dealing with, whether it's a $1 billion company with TKO or a billionaire's son in AEW. Guy just, seems to walk around big dick swinging, and, he's a multimillionaire. He's going to get what he gets. And, whatever it shakes out to be, I'm sure it will end up being less than he deserves, and he'll be fine otherwise. So,
friend of the show, Pat Martin, says Andrade sucks. Why should you even care?
Pat summed it up. Why should we care? If we see Andrade in 3 months, cool. Maybe we'll get a good match or two out of it. If we don't see Andrade for over a year, I mean, I probably won't care then either. So, I mean, maybe he could buy me a new webcam. Fuck.
The old never seen 17 over here.
Never seen 17. I love how it is continuously gotten worse. Now I'm convinced it's dying. It's not just a focus issue. It's dying.
It's getting there. It's getting there. So, I don't know, man. I think that like the whole thing's interesting. We're going to continue to follow it, like you said, and if anything new develops, I'm sure we'll touch on it. We probably won't spend as much time on it as we did today. Definitely won't be the main event, but I thought it was pretty interesting. And
I feel like this is the cherry on the sundae of the Andrade drama.
It's the payoff for sure.
Yeah, he's been more dramatic in non-wrestling news than he has been impactful within pro wrestling pretty much for his entire career. I think if we put a bow on the front of the cake that already is a cherry on top of it at some point by like leading off and being like, so Andrade's back. Yeah, that was interesting. Okay, moving on. That's what it'll be.
I agree. Much like whenever Karrion Kross decides to come back to WWE, that's how Tom will feel about that as well. Well, buddy, I feel like friend of the show, Pat Martin, says he had some really great matches with Carmelo, but that's about it in this second run in WWE.
There were 7, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, there were 7. We never got a payoff to that because number 7 ended in a draw, a no contest.
And then Melo got killed this week on SmackDown by The Miz. So
No. Miz got killed this week.
Oh, right.
Yeah, last week Melo got killed by
last week, right? This week Miz got killed. Dragunov still the champion. Now we get Melo and Dragunov. Hopefully, maybe that actually is something.
Yeah, I'm here for it, but I really wanted Carmelo to be the one that won that United States Championship. But I mean, it's going to be really hard pressed to get it to take it off of Dragunov right now, right? Like
it seems almost impossible. If I'm being honest, it seems like he should be the champion almost indefinitely, and like maybe like Gunther should take it like further down the line. Anyway, that's just we'll see where that goes. But good Lord, they needed a spark on SmackDown. If that wasn't a spark, then I don't know what is.
Well, we will see how it plays out in the coming weeks. And yeah. Well, buddy, I guess we just left with one little piece of business here, and that is the world famous One Fall WrestleCast match of the week. You know what's crazy? I just noticed. This.
Yeah.
On the bottom of my screen, I can see who all is in here and like everything.
Uh-huh.
You are crystal clear on the small image.
It's breaking. Like I look worse now than I did prior to the intro to this segment.
Yes, you do. So
it's dying as we speak.
You can't see Tom, but he's going to tell you what his match of the week is.
My match of the week is actually AEW World Championship match, Hangman Page versus Samoa Joe. I know you were expecting me to go somewhere else.
I wasn't. I just was downplaying the fact that was mine.
Well, AEW World Championship match, Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe. As Walt pointed out, the weakest or the most questionable point of the match is the finish, where it did take 3 buckshot lariats to take down Samoa Joe. But, God, if I didn't love this build, I've been talking about it for weeks. And, man, if these guys didn't pay it off for me, it really was. AEW did a really good job with this. I kind of want to give the credit to the wrestlers. I feel like they did a good job with this. Hangman often has really good feuds, and Samoa Joe pretty much always has a good feud in my eyes. So the fact that this went as well as it did came to no surprise to me, and it went fantastically. I thought the match was great. I thought that both competitors looked like $10 million. Obviously, Joe couldn't win. I knew that going into this. Honestly, I don't think we swapped a single title. Mercedes picked up something bullshit, but like we didn't swap anything that made any sense during this pay-per-view. And but this match I thought was great. Great defense for Hangman. Really sort of solidifies his title reign. Because Joe was sort of a thorn in his side during his first title reign, and did Joe take it off? I don't remember who took it off in the first time. But we're on record. MJF did, right? We're on record as saying that, like, at the time, Hangman was the worst world champion. This was a much better run. This is turning out to be a much better run than Hangman's first run, and I think that he has matured a lot. I think that it showed that in this feud. I think this match was great, and I'm interested to see where AEW goes from here, because Hangman is their guy. He's the guy carrying the gold right now. He's the one drinking a little bit of the bubbly backstage at the moment. The fact that this was not the main event per se is a little disappointing, because again, the attempted murder match was a little too much. I think there was some valid criticism online. I think some people went a little too far, a little too much pearl clutching, but I don't know how much a match where, just like the Undertaker versus Big Boss Man got a lot of criticism in that Hell in a Cell match for that murder in the ring. I think that this deserves an equal amount of kind of vitriol and criticism. And you know what? That's probably what AEW is going for. They're probably going for it to be like, oh yeah, we're crazy, man. We're here for this for the psychos, and that's fine. But do it late enough, and they did, so it's fine. It's not like somebody was bleeding at 8 p.m. on Wednesday on cable television. So they're finally seeming to find their stride. This was a little bit of a tighter pay-per-view than we're used to. It was still not, you don't have to watch all 6 hours of this shit. You can watch, 2 or 3 and really get all the good stuff in there. It's a little bit of a shame with where the Hurt Syndicate has fallen onto the card. But it is what it is at the moment. Hopefully they
Shiny toy syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. They're starting to fall into they're becoming a less shiny toy, sort of by the moment. But I thought this match was great. I think it is a sign of AEW continuing to be on the upswing, and I wanted to point it out because not only do I really like Hangman Adam Page, and I always really have, I think that this being a better title run for him is a good thing. And obviously, massive Smojo mark. Give me Smojo in a main event title picture, especially coming off what was just a great season, by the way, of Twisted Metal. So this hit all the boxes for me, and this was my match of the week. Well,
My match of the week we've gushed over already, and it was Ilya Dragunov versus Sami Zayn for the United States Championship. Ilya Dragunov returns after a year and change from an ACL.
18 months, I think. Yeah.
From an ACL injury. Looks sharp as hell. Him and Sami Zayn beat the absolute ever-loving dog shit out of one another. And it was awesome. And I don't know where they go from here. I thought Carmelo was going to be positioned to finally maybe get a little bit of a push, but it looks like we're going to get a blow-off between him and Miz. Fantastic match. Really looking forward to what that mid-card on SmackDown looks like moving forward.
My hope is that they let Sammy take the holiday off. I think that he's done a good job of sort of being a guy who they can rely on to eat some time on Friday. But I think that has really hurt his, sort of credence with the fans. And I would like to see Sami Zayn just take Thanksgiving and Christmas and just hang out in Canada, enjoy the family, enjoy your wife, enjoy your kids, go to your mom's house, go to her mom's house, do all the shit. If we see you in a segment here or there, between now and the end of the year, that's fine. But for the most part, take the rest of the year off. Put in a good performance in the Royal Rumble, but I think that it's time to take a step away. I'm sure he's hurting. There's probably some things that could use some rehab, could use some time in a chamber, and just kind of let it go. And I would like to see a less present Sami Zayn for at least a few months, just to kind of let us forget what we're missing. And I know that we're missing Kevin Owens, we're missing now Jacob Fatu, a lot of people carrying cross. So it's hard to say, hey, that guy that everybody likes to go, oh, whoa, let's go. Let's take him off of Friday as well. But I think that's best for his character, because I think that while the crowd reaction is still pretty good, I feel like it's about to go mild, and everybody's about to react to it in the same way they reacted to the Hulk Hogan Woody segment. Remember his Woody promo where Hulk Hogan called himself Woody?
No.
Okay, I'll share the clip with you. It's terrible. They dropped it immediately. We never heard of it again. It's like 30 seconds of a really bad 1998 WCW Nitro segment. But Hollywood Hogan referred to himself as the Woodmaster and Woody, and I can't remember what he called Nash and Hall, but something like Woody's guys or something like that. It's terrible.
You know what? Now that you said about fucking the NWO piece, it's But still send me the clip so I can.
I will, but it's actively one of the worst pieces of WCW business.
No,
No,
you're
right.
Not worse. That's not worse than Dustin Rhodes.
Oh God, what was even his name? Seven. Oh God, with the white face. That was monstrous. And he broke character. And they never went to commercial. They should have gone. It was live.
My name is Dustin Runnels, even though they want to trot me out here like I'm 7.
Yeah, that was a mess.
Oh, of course, friend of the show, Pat Martin, fucking comes in here with the 7. You know. I will say that there is not another man that loves Goldust more than fucking Pat Martin.
Well, Goldust was great. 7 was.
Watch your mouth talking about my guy. See what I'm saying?
I do appreciate that after that segment, like WCW fired him, he went right back to WWF and immediately picked back up with Goldust.
Yeah, and then became the artist formerly known as Goldust and started doing all that weird shit.
Yeah, and won the Intercontinental title and traded it back and forth with Val Venus.
Which, looking back on now, is just another like genius piece of like work from him in character development, right? Like the weirdest shit ever. It was god awful, but just to like take that character to another level, I think you got to try things like that. And yeah,
I mean, it was awful, but it felt like it was awful on purpose. Almost, you know what I mean? It was like they leaned so hard into the awful that like it was just like, oh God, this is so bad. But like we couldn't stop watching. It was a train wreck.
Yeah.
That you had to watch, and like limbs flew out of the train.
So I don't know what you were saying, but your friend on the barber here said no different from the New Age Outlaws pushing Foley and Funk off the stage in the dumpster. I'm assuming that was when you were on your rant about the attempted murder on pay-per-view, as you call it. But
those were different because that happened a couple of times.
Yeah,
also,
but the one
also Kane shoved Matt Cardona off the same drop in a wheelchair while he was like in casts and stuff.
I mean, the Dudleys, that Bully Ray fucking sit out powerbombed fucking Mae Young off the stage through a table.
Yeah, I mean that's all.
Oh, he's in a trance. Oh, you bastard!
Why, you son of a bitch? Why? Tell me why. We didn't. Maybe we can talk about this next week because Devon called, or not called, alleged that that JR was a massive racist towards him this week.
Oh yeah, we'll bust that next week.
Yeah, we can like there's still fallout happening from that.
Let's keep our ear to the ground on that one.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, if you're still here hanging out with us, man, we appreciate you. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Maybe even consider subscribing. We would greatly appreciate it. For all our folks listening over there in audio land, you can check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
And I'm not blurry in audio land.
No. They can't see you. Unfortunately, they only have to hear you.
Fortunately for them, the amount of blurry I have become as the show's gone on has become ridiculous now.
Check us out over on Twitter and Instagram at @1_FallWC. That's ONE. And as always, thanks for hanging out. It's all love. We'll catch you next week. Hopefully a little less blurry. One Fall WrestleCast. Yeah, that thing has got